Welcome back to the channel, my friends. Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man, and today we're taking a look at this week's pre-orders, and they are live. This video is sponsored by CMO Games. More on that later. Alright, so we got this week's pre-orders. Lots of exciting stuff right here coming for Horus Heresy and also Warhammer the Old World. So starting off, we have the Solar Auxilia dice set, 40 bucks for those. 20 dice in the set, 2 bucks a pop. And then we have the Solar Auxilia Battle Group. Very nice new box set right here. So first time we're going to be able to get an alternative army in plastic for Warhammer the Horus Heresy. We've got 2 brand new tanks, the new Sentinel, 20 new troopers, and then also a command squad. Just really nice looking models right here. Great sculpts. I suspect we're going to see a ton of these in 40K as well, as people will use these as alternatives for their regular guard. Really just nice looking models. Definitely a huge fan of these. Love the look. They've always been super cool. And just comparing like the price of what it would cost to build an army of these in Forge World resin compared to now in plastic is just insane. The new Le Mans Rust battle tank, very cool. And then obviously we have the new Dracosan armored transport. And then of course the new Sentinel as well. Just really cool. Definitely a huge fan of these. We've got some new transfer sheets in there as well. And then of course just showing off some of these sprues. So very cool. Definitely a huge fan of these. Can't wait to see what the community does with them for conversions. And I do suspect this box set is going to be really popular. It looks like it's packed pretty nicely with actual value as well, as it does look like a little over $300 worth of models inside. So around like 35% discount. And then moving on to the old world stuff, we've got a bunch of old stuff coming back. Anything marked online only is probably a returning model. So we had the Screaming Skull Catapult remastered, the Tomb Scorpion as well. Then we got Nekaph, Emissary of Settra. So I think this one is a new Forge World resin kit right here. So we can see that one's actually marked Expert Kit, online only. Then we see Tomb King on Chariot coming back, the Necrotech, the Prince Apothecarion, a bunch of old models just bringing back. All right, and then for the plastic kits, we have the Skeleton Chariots, 3 of those for 80 bucks. We have the Tomb King Skeleton Horsemen, so 60 bucks for those, and you get 16 total. Then we see the Tomb King Skeleton Warriors / Archers, 36 of those in a box set for 80 bucks. And again, these are just old models coming back. Some of these were in the box sets as well. And then of course the Tomb King / Lich Priest on the Necrolith Bone Dragon. 100 bucks for him. I gotta say, that's pretty fairly priced compared to what they potentially could have done or what I was expecting. Really nice model right here. 100 bucks for him. And again, that was in the launch box set. But now seeing these individual models and prices and everything, you gotta say that box set was a really good deal. All right, and then we had the Field Trebuchet, 78 bucks for that. Online only in resin. And then we've got the Green Knight coming back. Very cool to see him back. 40 bucks for the Green Knight. Lord with Great Weapon. Prophetess of the Lady, 50 bucks for the 2 of them. And then we had the Bretonnian Questing Knights, 60 bucks for the 3 of those. Bretonnian Questing Knights Command, 60 bucks for 3. Squires, 6 models for 40 bucks. Definitely on the pricey side for those Squires. And then Squire Command, 32 bucks for 3. And then I think these are what people are going to be really excited about. Obviously, the Knights of the Realm, very popular. Also could build the Knights Errant. 12 of those in a box set for 60 bucks. I got to say, that's a really nice price right there. I mean, that basically works out to like 5 bucks per mounted Knight. I don't remember what they cost back in the day, but I feel like that's pretty similar. So after all these years for them to essentially be priced at 60 bucks for 12, that is a really nice deal. Very fair in my opinion. And then of course we have the brand new Knights of the Realm on foot. Previously not available. So I think these were initially delayed, but you do get 20 of those for 80 bucks. So again, we're talking about like 4 bucks a model. And again, I don't remember what the Knights of the Realm like style models or size models were back in the day, but I want to say that they came in like 10s for the infantry, and it was like 30 or 40 bucks for 10. So they're basically like 4 bucks a piece now. If you were to divide this box set in half and it was 40 bucks for 10, I feel like that'd be right in line with what the prices were like 20 something years ago. So really just nice pricing on some of this stuff. And I can totally understand the appeal if you're less concerned with the actual models and using some of the old stuff, but you're all about like the better pricing. Some of the old world stuff is definitely priced very reasonably. Now, me personally, I don't need like 80 models for a cheap price. I need just a few really nice ones, because we all know after a few years in this game, you're going to end up with a massive pile of shame. So I much prefer quality over quantity. That being said, we got some nice books coming out this week as well. Lots of cool stuff. The End Times, Doom of the Old World. This little compilation of a bunch of stuff. $25 for that. So you get a bunch of stories all packed into one if you want to find out what happened to the old world as Archaon destroyed it. Spoiler alert. And then also we have the online only available while stocks last, the Hollow King special edition, $75 for that. Very cool little story about Cato Ezekiar. Absolutely love the design, the cover, all that good stuff. I mean, this is just absolutely beautiful. Got to give it to Games Workshop when they do these special edition books. The overall just quality, the look, they are just absolutely beautiful. So very, very nicely done. Now a quick message from today's sponsor. CMO Games has been selling Games Workshop products online for over 20 years. They carry the full line of Games Workshop products, including Warhammer 40,000, Age of Sigmar, Necromunda, Blood Bowl, paint tools, and more. Almost all Games Workshop products are priced at 15% off MSRP. CMO Games takes pre-orders for most Games Workshop products released at their earliest date possible. 12:01 a.m. on Saturday, they go live. Most of these pre-order products are also priced at 15% off MSRP. CMO Games offer free shipping in the US 48 with an order of $50 or more. Their customer service is top-notch and they ship most orders within 24 hours. Visit CMOGames.com using the affiliate link in the description and let them know that you heard about CMO Games from Warhammer Man. Now back to the video. And then we got Cypher, Lord of the Fallen in paperback, $10. I think the rest of this is all left over from last week, actually. So we had the Dark Angels upgrades. We got the datasheet cards, a complete ripoff at $35. And then the Codex Supplement Dark Angels, $35 for that. We got Belial, the new Combat Patrol. And again, I'm hearing just like a mass amount of disappointment and like hate for the Combat Patrol. I think a lot of people forget that this is an actual game. And if you are hearing people talk trash about the new Combat Patrol Dark Angels, or about the existing Combat Patrols, like a really big creator just did like a video basically like putting them down, keep in mind that this is an actual game mode. So these boxes are designed for you to be able to play with them right out of the box for new players. I get the complaint about people not wanting more intercessors, but like if you're complaining about not wanting more intercessors, you already have a bunch of intercessors probably, which means that this isn't really for you. Like I totally get people buy the Combat Patrols because they're a good deal and everything, but they're designed specifically to get people into the game and for new players. And if you were going to design an actual box to start playing the game with, having 2 5-man squads of intercessors is really good. They are excellent in the actual game, especially in Combat Patrol. And also, if you did something like put 10 Hellblasters in the new Combat Patrol, it would be completely broken. It would be literally like shooting other armies, other Combat Patrols off the table, and there's nothing they could do about it. Same thing with if you had like the Gravis Captain attached to like heavy intercessors, or really anything else for that matter, it would basically be like unkillable. So in my opinion, the reason Games Workshop did this specifically, the reason the Gravis Captain can't attach to a squad is because of balance. I mean, part of the problem with the other Dark Angels Combat Patrol, and a lot of the reason they changed it, removing the Redemptor Dreadnought, is because it was absolutely broken. It was just too good. And part of the reason I think they're taking some of the bigger stuff out of the Combat Patrols is so that they're more evenly matched, so that the games are more fun and that everyone can enjoy themselves. Because if you just start playing Warhammer and you put a bunch of models on the table and just get absolutely destroyed every game you play because you can't kill a Redemptor Dreadnought, I think you're probably less likely to get like consumed by Warhammer and buy a bunch more stuff. And in the end, that's what this is all about. So while I do understand where the complaints are coming from, why people would want like Dark Angel specific units, I also understand from a business perspective, and that's what Games Workshop is, they're a business, why they're doing things the way they're doing them. So if you're hearing a bunch of negativity, a bunch of people talking trash about like the new Combat Patrols and stuff like that, understand there's a very good possibility they have never played Combat Patrol and they have no idea what they're talking about. So rant over. I think the Dark Angels Combat Patrol is really good. I think if you put this thing on the table, it will do extremely well and probably beat most other Combat Patrols. And I think if they made any of the changes people want, that it would probably be broken. So then we got the Deathwing Knights, $70. Inner Circle Companions, absolutely beautiful models, $60 for those. And then we got some of the new Forge World, Horus Heresy stuff as well. And then just kind of finishing up some of the books that were real popular, sold out last week, the special edition Dark Angels Supplement and Lazarus Enity's Edge. And then Asmodai, not because he's great in game terms necessarily, but again, just a beautiful, beautiful model. So very, very cool. Lots of cool stuff coming out here. We have also all of those art prints that Games Workshop was talking about, $41.99 for those. Basically just like the old Codex cover art. They do come framed in the United States, which is kind of nice. I believe that's USA only. But realistically, honestly, at these prices, you could probably just buy a decent condition old Codex and put it in a frame. You could even rip the cover off of it and just throw it in a frame, and it would be cheaper than that. So maybe that's an alternative possibility as well. And then something that was like kind of left off of the actual like preview and everything, but is pretty cool, is the Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay Starter and the Warhammer Roleplay Wrath and Glory sets. So if you are into like D&D, roleplay, anything like that, potentially be interested in these like special order items. Very cool seeing them come out. Surprised Games Workshop didn't feature them in like an article. But those are pretty awesome. I was definitely thinking about picking those up myself. And then just some of the other books and everything like that. Some nice stuff here. And then I believe there was one other special order item that was coming out here, but I can't remember what it was. So very cool. Lots of good stuff coming out this week for Warhammer Horus Heresy, and then also for Warhammer the Old World. Let me know what you're most excited about, what you're going to be picking up. Always like to hear back from you guys in the comments section. Special thanks to CMO Games for sponsoring the video. Check them out if you want to pick up any of these new releases at 15% off. Make sure to tell them that Warhammer Man sent you. That's it for today. Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man, and I'm out of here.